shed in the backyard of a home near Snellville.
Nearly 100 officers stormed the area following a tip. Police tell us Maynard ignored their commands and threatened them with a sharp object, and they say when he refused to put it down, an officer shot him.
Well, tonight we have live team coverage. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor spoke with people who live in that neighborhood where the suspect was killed. But we're going to begin with Deidre Dukes, who spoke with the Gwinnett County Police Chief.
Police telling us that they got a big break overnight, a credible tip that Maynard was still in the area, and that information ultimately led police straight to it. The search for Officer Antwan Toney, suspected killer, now over. Gwinnett Police Chief Butch Ayers prepares to bury one of his own.
The manhunt is over, and now the Gwinnett County Police Department and community are going to be able to turn our attention to supporting the family of Officer Toney and prepare for his funeral and services.
Working on a credible tip that accused cop killer Tafari Maynard was in the area. Dozens of law enforcement officers descended on a neighborhood off of Hewitt Road in unincorporated Snellville, going door to door in search of the suspect. Two Gwinnett police officers found him hiding in a shed behind a house on the 5200 block of Mistletoe Lane. Police say Maynard was armed with a heavy metal-edged blade and failed to comply with the officers' verbal commands.
One of the officers had a taser. A taser was deployed. Prior to the taser being deployed, Mr. Maynard had his hand behind his back, would not show his hand. At what point he did show his hand, which contained an edged weapon. The second officer on the scene did fire his firearm, striking Mr. Maynard. Mr. Maynard died on the scene.
The 18-year-old suspect wanted for felony murder and aggravated assault. Officer Toney killed in the line of duty Saturday, shot while responding to a suspicious vehicle parked near Shiloh Middle School.
The Gwinnett County Police Department was able to bring closure to a case that was initiated by Officer Toney himself.
Officers say they recovered marijuana and guns from the suspect's vehicles the night of the shooting, but police have no idea why the suspect opened fire.
I'm not sure we'll ever know, but the fact of the matter is, Officer Toney never had the chance to verbally engage with the suspects or the occupants of the car.
The chief had high praise for Officer Toney today, saying he believed in serving his community. He loved his job and did it with a smile every day. In Gwinnett County, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Well, it certainly sounds like everyone loved him. Deidre, thanks. Let's continue our team coverage tonight with Fox 5's Angelique Proctor.
And Angelique, you were in the neighborhood near Snellville where all of this unfolded this morning, and you were able to speak with people who live there.
Today in Russ, homeowners say a massive manhunt like this is very unusual for this area. They all say they are relieved tonight that everyone in this community is safe.
They said it sounded like gunshots.
Unincorporated Snellville residents who heard the shots were right. Gwinnett police killed suspected cop killer Tafari Maynard hiding in a shed on Mistletoe Lane. Police say they received a credible sighting of the 18-year-old at 3 a.m. Monday morning. They swarmed the area and waited for his next move. Business owner Jared Groff was astounded by the massive police presence around Hewitt Road.
Police activity in this area has been unprecedented than anything I've ever seen.
More than 100 officers converged on the area not far from where Maynard's mother lives. Homeowner Mark Swinson saw all of the activity surrounding his house. He grabbed his gun and kept an eye on the local news after hearing unusual sounds that he now knows were gunfire.
I heard just what could have been a pop or a crack.
Eric Freeman lives next door to where police found suspect Maynard hiding in that tool shed. Freeman called his roommates for a routine ride home and realized they were in the middle of the action.
I called him and he said he couldn't. He was stuck in the house. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we heard two loud bangs, looked outside, and SWAT was in our yard, and I believe their yard, swarming the shed behind the house.
Residents say the intense search and deadly shooting left them frazzled.
It's hardening in our area. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It happens all over the place, but it's never in your neck of the woods. This is getting too close.
Everyone in this community just so glad that things turned out like they did. Reporting live in Gwinnett County, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
All right, thank you, Angelique. Police say Maynard wasn't the only one in the car when Officer Toney was shot. Officers arrested 19-year-old Isaiah Pretlow over the weekend. He's charged with aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer. Now, he made his first appearance before a Gwinnett County judge today. There is no bond for that charge. Now, Officer Antwan Toney is from California, and that's where much of his family still lives.
We first spoke with his sister on Sunday by FaceTime, and she told us she is just heartbroken over the loss of her best friend. She says her brother was, quote, one of the good guys, saying he joined the force to help bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community. When she got the call that her brother had been shot, she says time stopped for her.
It's really hard to vocalize when your body completely loses control of your body, but your mind's telling you need to get it together, and I was the first to know. So I knew I needed to pull it together for my family, my mother, and our parents. We've received calls from complete strangers just saying how he's had an impact on their children's lives by just dropping in on their homes and talking to them.
Officer Toney's sister says she finds some peace in knowing that he died doing what he loved.
Well, in a little more than an hour, a community vigil for Officer Toney will be held at the Gwinnett Church off of Peachtree Industrial Boulevard in Sugar Hill. It starts at 7:30, and we're told everyone is welcome to come and pay their respects. And then tomorrow, a visitation for Officer Toney will be held. It'll take place from 2 to 4 tomorrow afternoon, and again from 6 to 8 in the evening. The visitation will be held at Crowell Brothers Funeral Home in Peachtree Corners. Officer Toney's funeral will be held Wednesday at 12 Stone Church on Buford Drive in Lawrenceville. That service will begin at 11 a.m.
All right, beautiful Monday, and it's going to be a beautiful Monday night for Monday Night Football. Falcons-Giants, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and temperatures pretty comfortable in the 60s out there right now. It'll be clear and chilly as everybody's coming out of the game, and hopefully the roof's going to be open on the stadium. Here's a look at Hurricane Willa. We're showing you this because this is our next chance of rain. Believe it or not, this is all the way over in the Pacific. Usually these hurricanes, as they develop, they drift kind of west-northwestward, eventually maybe out toward Hawaii. This one's caught in the upper level low, and it's moving to the north. You can see all the moisture with it. This is the way the upper level winds are going, right where that moisture's going. So eventually this